How to focus so intensely that nothing can distract you. In a world saturated with noise, intention has become the most valuable currency. It is traded away cheaply, squandered on trivialities, and rarely protected with the respect it deserves. Focus, once a natural state of being, has been fragmented into fleeting moments between interruptions. Yet it must be said with absolute certainty that intense focus is not a talent reserved for the gifted few. It is a discipline, and disciplines, when practiced with consistency and dignity, may be mastered. It has often been believed that distraction is caused by the external world. This belief, while convenient, is incomplete. The truth is rather less forgiving. Distraction is invited, it is permitted, it is entertained. Only when responsibility for attention is reclaimed can focus be restored to its rightful place. The ability to focus intensely is not created through force. Willpower alone, when applied recklessly, tends to fracture. Instead, focus cultivated through structure, intention, and an understanding of how the mind truly operates when left undisciplined. To begin, it must be acknowledged that the mind was never designed for chaos. When presented with too many stimuli, it does not rise to the occasion, it retreats. Clarity is sacrificed in favor of survival. Thus, before intense focus can be achieved, the environment must be addressed. A focused mind cannot flourish in a cluttered space. Disorder, thought often ignored, exerts a subtle tax on attention. Every unnecessary object becomes a whisper competing for mental resources. For this reason, simplicity has long been favored by those who value excellence. By removing what does not serve the task at hand, space is created not only on the desk, but within the mind itself. Equally important is the digital environment. Devices, through marvels of modern engineering, have designed to interrupt. Notifications are not neutral, they are deliberate intrusions. When left unchecked, they condition the brain to accept novelty at all times. Under such conditions, deep focus becomes almost impossible. Therefore, boundaries must be established. Periods of disconnection are not acts of rebellion against technology. They are acts of self-respect. When access is limited, attention is liberated. Silence, once restored, allows thought to deepen and expand. However, environment alone is insufficient. Focus is not sustained merely by absence of distraction. It must be guided by purpose. When tasks are approached without clarity, resistance emerges. The mind, sensing ambiguity, seeks escape. It wanders not out of laziness, but out of confusion. For this reason, intention must be defined with precision. A vague goal invites distraction. A specific objective commands attention. It has been observed that the most focused individuals are not those who do more, but those who do less, exceptionally well. Energy, when scattered, diminishes rapidly. When concentrated, it becomes formidable. Thus, prioritization is not optional, it is essential. One task, one objective, one period of undivided attention. Such simplicity may appear unimpressive, yet it is devastatingly effective. Time itself must also be respected. Focus does not thrive in endless stretches. The mind, like the body, requires rhythm. Periods of intense effort must be balanced with the deliberate rest. Without rest, focus decays into fatigue, and fatigue invites distraction. For this reason, work should be structured into sessions. Within these sessions, attention is given fully and without negotiation. Outside of them, recovery is permitted without guilt. This balance preserves intensity while preventing burnout. Yet even with structure and clarity, the mind will resist. Old habits do not surrender quietly. Restlessness will arise. Doubt will intrude. The impulse to escape will make itself known. At such moments, it must be remembered that focus is not the absence of distraction, but the refusal to obey it. Thoughts will wander. This is inevitable. What matters is not their arrival, but the response to them. When attention drifts, it must be guided back, calmly, firmly, without frustration. Harshness only strengthens the resistance. Patience applied consistently builds control. This process resembles the training of a muscle. At first, strain is felt quickly. Over time, endurance develops. What once required effort becomes natural. Focus, when practiced daily, evolves from struggle into state. It is also worth noting that not all distractions are external. Some of the most persistent interruptions originate within. Unresolved emotions, lingering worries, and unexamined fears often masquerade as random thoughts. In truth, they are signals demanding acknowledgement. Attempting to suppress such thoughts is rarely effective. Instead, they must be addressed with honesty. When concerns are written down, examined and given their proper place, their power diminishes. Mental clarity is restored not through avoidance, but through resolution. Another often overlooked element of intense focus is physical well-being. The mind does not operate independently of the body. Sleep deprivation, poor nutrition, and inactivity quietly erode cognitive capacity. No amount of discipline can compensate indefinitely for neglect. A rested mind is more obedient. A nourished body is more cooperative. Movement, even modest, enhances blood flow and sharpens awareness. These fundamentals, through unglamorous, form the foundation upon which focus is built. Consistency must also be emphasized. Focus is not achieved through occasional bursts of motivation. It is a result of ritual. When at the same time, the same place and the same intention are honored repeatedly, the mind learns what is expected of it. Eventually, resistance diminishes. Entry into a deep focus becomes smoother. What once required preparation becomes automatic. This is not magic, it is conditioning. Of course, motivation will fluctuate. Passion is unreliable. Discipline, however, remains available regardless of mood. When focus is treated as a duty rather than a feeling, progress continues uninterrupted. It must also be cited that intense focus carries a cost. It demands sacrifice. Comfort must be postponed. Distractions must be declined. Opportunities for instant gratification must be ignored. Yet the reward is proportionate to the price. Work produced under deep focus possesses a rare quality. It is precise, it is thoughtful, endures. History offers countless examples. The greatest works were not created in moments of convenience, but in periods of deliberate isolation and sustained attention. Genius, more often than not, was simply focus applied relentlessly over time. In the modern era, such depth has become rare, and rarity, as always, creates value. To focus intensely in a distracted world is to gain a decisive advantage. While others fragment their attention, progress is compounded. While others chase stimulation, mastery is pursued. The gap winds quietly but inexorably. It should be understood that focus is not a destination, it is a practice. There will be days of clarity and days of struggle. What matters is not perfection, but persistence. Each time distraction is resisted, control is strengthened. Each time attention is reclaimed, confidence grows. Gradually, the mind learns who is in command. In the end, focus is an act of respect toward time, toward potential, toward the work itself. When the intention is given fully, excellence becomes inevitable. Nothing extraordinary is required. Only a decision must be made. That attention will no longer be surrendered without consent. And once that decision is honored, day after day, nothing can truly distract what has been trained to remain still amidst the noise. Silence returns, death emerges, and within that death, remarkable things are accomplished, and has always been the case. With patience, with discipline, with focus. Thanks for watching.